Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the news bulletin for this Friday, 23rd January. The SADC Executive Secretary Elias Magossi met with Vice President Sébastien Pillet this morning to discuss the new government's plans and how SADC can continue to assist in the development of Seychelles. And the second to meet with Vice President Sébastien Pillet was the new UNDP representative for Mauritius and Seychelles, Alka Batia. She says that Seychelles is one of the pioneers in environmental protection and that this entity will continue to help Seychelles in this field and others.
We had a very good exchange of views in what the vision of the present government is for Seychelles and how UNDP can continue to support the government and people of Seychelles, basically for future-proofing, I would say, Seychelles, using data, digitalization, working on systems, systemic reform, and basically building that resilience, which is so very critical for Seychelles. And as I said, digitalization, systems reform, and taking a very public-centered or a people-centered approach so that it is all of this development is inclusive and benefits the environment, the people, most of all for Seychelles.
We're here to share with the government, the new government, what SADC is about, the priorities of government. We don't just assume that any government that comes into office understands SADC. So we're here to explain what SADC is about, its priorities, and how a member state like Seychelles can actually benefit from the region. Secondly, we're here to share briefly the status of peace and security in our region, what is happening, the likes of DRC, Madagascar, Mozambique and the like, and the activities that have been taken by the region. And three, we also wanted to share with them the ideas we have about how we think we can expedite regional integration for SADC, because we feel there are certain things we don't do quite well, even though there are others that we are doing very well on.
The University of Seychelles and the Independent School have signed a memorandum of understanding to strengthen collaboration in academic programs, teaching, research, and other areas of mutual interest. The MOU was signed by the executive principal of the Independent School, Andy Esparon, and the vice chancellor of the University of Seychelles, Joël Perrault, in the presence of officials from both institutions. Mr. Esparon stated that the MOU outlines how the agreement will benefit the Independent School.
So this collaboration, we look forward to greater academic alignment between our A-level programs and the university expectations, opportunities for our students to engage with UNICEF through academic talks, mentoring, research exposure, and campus experiences, professional dialogue and collaboration between our teachers and UNICEF faculty, the development of joint initiatives to promote inquiry, innovation, and research-mindedness amongst our learners. Schools cannot operate in isolation, and universities cannot stand apart from the pipeline of learners who will one day walk their halls. At Independent School, we also believe that education must cultivate curiosity, critical thinking, and research skills. Working alongside UNICEF provides us with opportunities to nurture these competencies in more structured and meaningful ways.
The Independent School and the Confucius Institute, based at the University of Seychelles, have also signed a memorandum of agreement to allow students to learn Mandarin, one of the Chinese languages. The agreement was signed by the executive principal of the Independent School, Andy Esparon, and the director of the Confucius Institute, Jianmei Zhang, in the presence of officials from both institutions. Mr. Esparon said that learning the Chinese language will be essential for students who wish to further their studies in universities in China.
Mandarin will be integrated within our club program, and a Chinese language choir, which is in operation, is already established, and they will foster cultural exchange through music and language. Reaching HSK Level 3 will position our students to access higher education opportunities in Chinese universities after completing their A-levels. It broadens their horizons, enhances their global mobility, and strengthens Seychelles' engagement with international educational community. The ability to speak Mandarin opens doors academically, professionally, and culturally. This agreement ensures that our students are not only prepared locally, but are equipped to thrive internationally.
And with this, we've reached the end of our news bulletin for now. Ladies and gentlemen, join us again at 8 for more news and more details.